Hello everyone, you're watching this Diwali special show on Money Control. I'm Sakshi Batra and with me is Money Control's market editor Kshitij Anand. Thanks a lot for joining in, Kshitij, and here's wishing you a very happy Diwali.
Thank you so much, Sakshi, and good to be back again on video platform and wishing everyone a very happy and a prosperous Diwali as well.
Thanks, Kshitij. Well, this is the show where we'll be doing a quick recap of how the Samvat 2076 was for the Indian equities and for investors as well, and how you should be really looking at the Samvat 2077. We will also be sharing with you some really nice pataka picks for all of you so that over the next 1 year you could invest them and you can look at adding those to brighten up your portfolio. Well, Kshitij, let's begin. And I want to first begin by asking you and talking about that what a year this has been for equity markets. You know, we started out in January with a huge bang by touching the record
Yeah.
highs, not really realizing what was in the offing really. And after all the gloom, we are back at the all-time highs again. So help us understand with all the data that you've garnered about what really happened when it comes to stock markets and even the other asset classes over Samvat 2076.
As you rightly put, Sakshi, in one word, if I have to describe somewhat 2076, then I think I'll say it was a roller coaster ride for investors. Now, even though we have seen a lot of volatility and stock markets going up and then hitting 3 years low, hitting fresh record highs in January and then again hitting 3 years low and then back again to record highs in the month of November. So it will not be fair to say that we have expected this kind of volatility. No, but despite the volatility and despite the roller coaster ride, I will still say it was a fabulous 2076. Now, why I say that is because, whatever could have gone wrong in the last 1 year has gone wrong. We've seen geopolitical concerns, we have seen economic contraction, we have seen economy going into the contraction, and then COVID as well happened, which actually threw all of us out of order. We saw recession, in fact, and not to forget, we've seen the geopolitical or trade wars as well as geopolitical tensions between India and China. So everything which could have gone wrong went wrong. But despite of that, at least for D Street or at least for the investor committee, it has been a blessed year. We saw markets tanking by more than double digits. In fact, in
Yeah.
double digits back in the month of March. FIIs pulled out more than 65,000 odd crores. But then again, post March, the revival has happened. If you look at back at 1 year, then Sensex is up around about 11 odd percent. What really outperformed was the broader markets. Mid cap index was up around about 8 odd percent. Then small cap index did outperform. In fact, we saw 15% kind of rally in the small cap index. But if we are taking from a year on year basis, but if we are taking it from, let's say, from March lows, then we have seen tremendous outperformance, 40, 50% kind of a rally that we have seen in the broader market indices. So all
Yeah.
in all, I think I would say that 2076 has been a blessed year. It has taught us something that unpredictability and uncertainty is something which is going to stay, and investors have to live with that. Investors have to stay on course with their investment discipline, and that what leads to wealth creation. It has given that opportunity to investors to create wealth, which everyone was looking for. Whether you hopped onto that bus or not, well, that is something which you have to find out. But the other asset classes, like cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin, which have also seen tremendous outperformance, 70 odd percent on a year-on-year basis, and not to forget the gold. We've seen 30% kind of a rally in the yellow metal. So all in all, I think not the best years for equity markets, but then again, what promises a best year is because now the coming 2077 and 2078 will be good years for Indian equity markets because economy is bouncing back.
Absolutely. Well, that's quite a performance that you talked about, especially in the broader markets, which have really outperformed in Samvat 2076. And actually, that speaks volumes about the kind of maturity that we are seeing in investors, because this is the kind where you rightly pointed out, this was the time when we've actually seen everything that could go wrong has gone wrong, whether it is within the borders or outside of the borders as well. Everything was against the performance of equity markets, but bulls have really held on. So, Kshitij, let's also, have a real look at some of the star performers of Samvat 2076 to really understand which were the pockets that shone the most in the previous year, and also which are the stocks that have created great wealth and made investors richer in the last year.
Right. As we highlighted that what really outperformed was the broader market, and the winners or the multi-baggers are from the broader market only. If you look at some of the key 20 stocks which have actually risen, 100 to 800% in the last 1 year, include names like Adani Green, Laurus Lab, Dixon Technologies, Granules India, Naveen Fluorine, India Mart, Intermesh, Dhanuka
Yeah,
Agritech, GNN Perfor are some of the names. And in fact, we've seen some of the names getting added in the MSCI small cap index as well. So that
true.
definitely means more money coming into these names. And also, half of the BSE 500 index has actually given positive returns in the last 1 year. And another big development which has happened over the last 1 year is the fact that Nifty has, you could say, the market cap of Nifty has actually risen over 100 lakh crore mark, or a trillion rupees, or you could say that. What it means is that the market cap of Nifty 50 companies have crossed 100 lakh crores. Now that's a big win and a big sign. If you look at the top performing companies, were Reliance Industries with 13 to 14 lakh crore kind of a market cap, followed by TCS, HDFC Bank, so on and so forth. But eight companies, stand out because they have given multi-bagger returns since March lows. So some of these names include GSW Steel, IndusInd Bank, Hindalco Industries, Reliance Industries. I've talked about, then Tata Motors, Mahindra and Mahindra, Infosys, as well as Wipro are some of the names to talk about.
All right, so that's a whole lot of list that's in front of you that were the star performers, multi-baggers, call it what you may, but these are the stocks that have really made investors wealthy over the last 1 year. But let's now look forward and see what Samvat 2077 has in store for us. How is it really going to be for equities, and are they going to outperform as an asset class when you talk about the next year? And are more record highs in store for us as well? So, Kshitij, what do you have for us in that sphere?
Well, absolutely. It's actually, in fact, if you look at the data for 2076, then yes, we could say that, all the bad news got factored in the markets. And if we can outperform on bad news, well, remember, what can we do with the good news? So definitely, if we take that analogy, then definitely we are looking at, brighter highs in coming future. And some of the key trends which, we would like to highlight is definitely the earnings picture. Earnings, analysts are pinning quite a big hopes on the earnings environment. If not in FY21, then definitely by FY22, we are looking at
Okay.
earnings recovery, and probably a double-digit kind of earnings upgrades also happening in that period of time. If apart from that, we're already seeing some green shoots in the economy, be it micro or macro factors. We've also seen auto sales bouncing back, and then a lot of the high frequency indicators, micro indicators, are also suggesting that their recovery is there, and it's gonna continue. And definitely, whenever the recovery happens, equity markets do factor in everything in advance. So definitely, we're gonna see all that
Yeah.
factoring into the equity markets, in the next 1 year, 2077. If we look at the target price, then not much is expected from Sensex and Nifty. Analysts are seeing Nifty 50 in the range of 13,000 to 14,000 on the Nifty. But then again, a lot of stock specific action is something which investors should watch out for. Now, why I say that is because most of the action has already taken place in Sensex and Nifty stocks. But what exactly has underperformed for the past 2 years is the broader market, and
Yeah.
that is something which is going to pick up momentum in the next 1 or 2 years for sure. And this is another theme which investors should watch out for, and that is the small cap space. Because economy is bouncing back, and it will take small cap and mid cap stocks higher. So remember to bet on the quality also as well. And the last but not the least is the stimulus package which the government has announced, the extension of the PLI schemes in the run up to Diwali, as well as the Atmanirbhar Bharat scheme 3.0, which analysts feel that it's going to contribute around about 2.65 lakh crores, a kind of a package which the government has unveiled. Definitely, all these measures will not impact the economy in a day. It will have its impact in the coming quarters, and definitely as and when the impact starts showing up, It will support the earnings, it will support the markets, it will support the market sentiment. So I think next 1 year equities should outperform other asset classes. That's what even experts are also suggesting at this point in time.
All right, so equities are likely to outperform. So if you are invested, just cheer up. And if you're not, then this is the time that you need to look at it. And we're going to be helping you in just a minute. But just like how Kshitij pointed out, a whole lot of indicators and green shoots are indicating towards a better year ahead for equities, for the economy as well. There are signs of recovery. The government is constantly pointing those signs out. You talk about the purchasers managers index, or you talk about the auto sales. They're all showing some kind of uptick. The corporate earnings are definitely recovering in a sharp way. And there is an expectation from the RBI that Q3 is going to see a reversal and a positive growth on the GDP front as well. So all those factors in, and in case all of those things come true, then nothing's going to be stopping the equity markets from touching higher highs from here. So now, Kshitij, we know that you have gems for us to share with us and all our viewers. The top picks by leading brokerage houses over the next 1 year on the occasion of Samvat 2077. Where can investors really look to place their bets and get huge returns over the next 1 year?
Right. Well, definitely that's another key point which everyone looks for as to if I have money, but then where to invest at this point in time. Well, Prabhudas Leeladhar advises investors to invest in the large cap space or the top quality names. In fact, the first bet that Prabhudas Leeladhar has is HUL. That's a top FMCG major. The target price is around about 2,502. Next is the top private sector lender, ICICI Bank. We have seen tremendous rally in this private sector lender as well from the March close. The target price that Prabhudas Leeladhar kept as 520. Infosys, the top IT major, we have seen a good amount of traction in this counter as well in the last 2 or 3 months. In fact, from March lows, the target price is around about 1,436. From the cement space, we have Ultratech Cements around about 5,400. That is the target price. Dr. Reddy's from the pharma space, the target price is 5,964. Imami with a target price of 450, Inox Leisure with a target price of 322, and Compton Greaves with a target price of 346. Now, from Samco Securities, they prefer HDFC Life because insurance is one sector which is going to boom in the next 1 year for sure. Pidilite Industries, Bharat Rasayan, L&T, Bharti Airtel. From the banking space, we've got Kotak Mahindra Bank, HDFC, and then Dixon Technologies. Marico and Ambuja Cements are some of the names to keep a watch on in the next 1 year.
Absolutely, Kshitij. So you've talked about some 18 to 20 picks from these leading brokerage houses, which are likely to give huge kind of returns over the next 1 year. So all the investors, all the viewers watching the show, I'm sure you must have noted all of this down. Do speak to your financial advisor if you're going to be picking any of these picks from these leading brokerage houses as they are placing their bets. But definitely all these picks are from a whole host of sectors. You talk about pharma, you talk about banking space, IT, even the chemical space and FMCG space is not left behind. So you do have gems from each of these sectors to pick on for your portfolio and brighten up your portfolio in Diwali. Well, with about 20 these stocks to pick from for Samvat 2077, we do hope that this year rewards you with all the returns in your portfolios and also keep you healthy and safe as well. Well, with that, it's a wrap from all of us. Here's wishing all of you a very happy and prosperous Diwali.
Happy Diwali.